Okay, I'm going to go ahead and show you how I set up my Hornady powder measure on my presses. I'm setting up now on a Evolution press right now. It's a mess because I've actually just finished up running 9mm, but I want to demonstrate this before I completely tear it down. So I've got the case in there. I've got the hopper threaded just slightly into the press. This is all set up ahead. All you have to do here is make sure that this is moving freely. So really make sure that happens. The height of this with that adjustment knob there and on the back as well have to be. I'm sorry, not this one. There's two on the back here. Those have to be set up so that the position of this lock ring here is set correctly. That's all tightened down. You can do this with or without the spring on there. Again, main thing is you just make sure that it's moving freely. In here, make sure your pistol innards are all in there. If you want to flare, you have to modify what I'm about to show you just a little bit. For rifle, this works absolutely perfectly the way it is. So at this point, you pull the handle down, or in my case, I've got an Evolution, so I'm just going to press the button and it goes down. So what I do at this point is just spin the die and just keep watching that little adjustment, powder adjustment lever arm there, that little knob rise. And it's as simple as that. There's really nothing to it. And then you can see it's right at the top right now. That's where I would just go ahead and lock this down. So I lock the die nut down, tighten it good. And of course, I don't want this lever swinging out in my direction. I'd rather either point it that way or another direction. Especially you don't want it pointed towards something like a bullet feeder. Normally I wouldn't put the powder right here in position 1, but I put it here for the demonstration purposes. But you want to do this early on in your setup. You don't want a lot of other die around it because when you spin it, it could be a problem. But again, you probably don't want this swinging out at you like this. You might want to point it that way. And if you want to do that, you just loosen these two bolts here with your hex key. And then this whole lock ring here spins, and you can spin it in any direction you want, and then you lock it back. Now, if you want to flare a pistol, all you do is when you're at the very bottom like this, you just, in my case, press the end button, end cycle. In your case, release your arm, your lever arm for the press. You spin it down a little bit more, and you want to keep doing that until you get the proper flare. So again, if you're trying to flare, in my case, I wasn't never going to flare a pistol. I've already got a Lyman M die here to do my flare. So that's how I did the flare. But again, a lot of folks don't use just use the powder measure with the flare in it, and that works just fine too. Again, you just have to keep spinning until you get your proper flare after that. If you go past that, if you keep spinning and you go past that on rifle, you're going to start to crimp in the cases. You really cause some problems. That's probably the main cause of that crimped in look of a rifle case. So you probably set that wrong when you set up for rifle. Anyways, that's my quick video. You can do this with the RCBS powder measure. You can do this with the kind of can do it with the Mark 7 powder measure as well. I don't own a Redding, but I'm sure you can do it with that one too if they've got the same type of case activated system on the Redding. Anyways, that's it. I'm not an actor, so don't critique my video. I really don't care. Bye.